Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Horizon Lost World of Darkness Mage, Season 2, Episode 14, Sightseeing. We shall turn it over to the introductions, beginning with the wonderful, cute one, my darling love, Kerr.
Hi everyone, I'm Kerr, I'm the Storyteller. I'm going to do my best for today's session. We will see how it goes.
Portia, you're up next.
Oh, sorry. Tanya Sapien playing Dr. Portia Wainwright, the medic life mage. I forgot that Nesil wasn't here today, so that's why I was like, oh, yeah, it's not my turn yet.
I am Razim, and I am playing as Sinol, previously Cody, the Pine Marten, and kind of all-around specialist.
And I am Tochemay, and I am playing Warren Peace, an Order of Hermes mage.
And I am Wolstein. I will be playing the party's AI, Wolstein, and I will be overwatching the party. Sentries ready. Report prepared. Forward.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and move to the recap. Tanya, do you have another thing prepared?
As always.
All right.
Just one moment. Had to clear my throat. Good evening, Empty Springs! You're listening to the Night Bite on WZGF Radio, and this is the 3V experience you've been waiting all day for. Starting off with two pieces of news, and I swear one of them isn't a thinly veiled ad read. Lily's Dye & Brand has just hired a new tattoo artist who specializes in scrimshaw, so if you're looking to get horn, beak, or talon work done, you know where to go. UV and phosphor ink options are available, as well as both metal and resin inlays. That's Lily's Dye & Brand on 3rd Street. Just look for the sign with the smiling wolf. Meanwhile, the I-70 is backed up due to a pedestrian collision. It's unclear why he was flying so low, but an unnamed dragon struck a power line and then fell onto the highway, where he was then struck by a tractor trailer. Both the dragon and the driver are currently hospitalized and expected to make full recoveries, but the truck is a total wreck and blocking 2 lanes. The Empty Springs Police Department has issued a reminder that dragon scales are a controlled substance. Harvesting without written consent of the donor and possession without a permit are both Class 2 misdemeanors, and while the cleanup is in progress, anybody found scavenging will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Unless it's worth a year in jail and a 4-figure fine, just don't do it. That's it for the news, so we're heading over to what I know you've been waiting for. Reporting from Arcata, Gildan Greymore. What's the word, Gildan?
What? What? No, I'm neither alive nor am I on the air. I'm very clearly on the ground. But we're broadcasting. Why didn't you say anything? Useless! Gildan Greymore, on-site insights for the Night Bites info fights, and it's too dang bright! Lunaris, not to be confused with Lunaro, bright place, bright people, love it as much as I love the sun. Saw the restaurant, saw the people, they tasted great, very spicy. Really big city, biggest city, bigger on the inside even. Meritocratic, they say. Do a good job, get a good job. Or take it, claw your way to the top. Never easier, just take a stab at it. Denwall, Hamsterman, very friendly, very bright, too bright. Like looking at the sun and just as safe to be around. He made a strong city, the strongest because only the strong rule. Meeting with Taylor Party, interview cut short, had to leave. Timothy was nice, he showed me the door. I didn't even know that's where the door was. Explored some more, got lost, got found, lost the people who found me, lost forever. Met a skunk, Alric Benneret. You'd think a skunk would stink, but all I smelled was matches. I sniffed, he laughed, and then I was kicked out because he had to meet with the Taylor Party too. The Marten acts like he's the main character. Everyone knows it's the one with 2 tails. More tails means they're better. That's science. Oh, getting a call. It's the spiders. They're singing again. Need to listen for a while. Back to you, Vanessa.
Always a delight hearing you talk, Gildan. We've got the weather report coming up later, so look forward to that. In the meantime, here's your acoustic coffee, a hard rock favorite, Exalted Punishment by the Ironbloods. Okay, the sleepers have their lullaby playing, so for everybody else, welcome to the real news. You're listening to Vanessa Vadan, and this is Behind the Masquerade, brought to you by House La Sombra. The incident on the highway was no accident, it was an assassination attempt. The dragon in question had several existing contracts which may be delayed or broken due to his injuries. As such, House Gangrel has issued a standard bounty on any and all information leading to the capture of the assassin and any relevant handlers. That's capture. Alive. Looks like the elders are really pissed off this time. And in lighter news, WZGF is now hiring warm bloods for decently paying internships. Knowledge of radio equipment is a must, and they must not be anemic, vegan, or have type B blood. Gildan insists he's allergic to bees, and he can't drink it, and honestly, it's just easier not to argue with him. The job comes with full medical benefits, pay is hourly, and comes with a panic button, because here at WZGF, we keep our employees safe. So if you're an associate of the families looking for a career change, give us a call at 406-555-WZGF. That's 406-555-WZGF. We are not accepting thralls at this time, free-willed associates only. And finally, before I send you all over to the music already in progress, Gildan is staying hot on the trail of the Taylor Chantry, and we will continue to give updates as they occur. See you all in a little bit. Stay sexy, stay stealthy, and as always, stay strong.
And I can see that panic button just being the easy button. Click. Panic.
Okay, was Zim just slow clapping?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I was.
And I was resisting the urge to chime in. Greetings. I'm here for the position. I assure you that the blood is warm.
It's not your blood, though. It doesn't count.
But it's blood. Type O.
That's not how that works.
Oh, no, it's not supposed to be typo. Because that's a mistake.
Oh my god. Your face is a mistake.
Kerr, get us started, please.
I believe we were last settled in at the estate, speaking with Alric Benrit, and the AI has compiled a report that has been held off of being spoken because a certain domino has appeared.
Kerr? Darling?
Sorry, I was muted. I didn't realize it.
Oh, no worries.
No, I was asking you. I thought you guys could hear me because I said, "What do you guys remember happening last?" And then Woe started to talk about what happened last time. So I thought you guys could hear me. Literally, right after I asked that, Woe started saying, "Okay, so this is what happened last time. This is where we left off. This is where we were." And I'm just like, "Okay, they must be able to hear me."
I promise you, I am not a mage. That was not mind magic mistakenly used. We are good to go. Totally
Please,
fine.
you're becoming predictable, that's all.
Yep.
All right, so now I'm going to ask again. What do you remember the last thing that happened last session?
We were at Auric's estate.
Yes.
We got in a debrief about how he oversees contracts and stuff like that.
I remember we were also hanging out with this really cute lion that I just want to give a big hug to, and maybe even a smooch.
I'm going to reiterate again. I'm going to reiterate again. Please don't do anything that's going to endanger the world here that you found yourselves in, because you're not going to like what happens if you do.
What's wrong with hugging a cute lion? I think his name is Kerr. I'm swooning over him.
Kerr actually exists in the world. Don't do anything that's going to endanger it, or you're not going to like the response.
Well, how is
Don't
hugging
worry.
endangering?
Because he's not going to show up unless things go bad here.
Oh, this is all getting too meta for me. I'm gonna go watch the chat for a while.
Have fun.
Yes. I believe Domino did show up, right? Right, Wost? When we ended?
Affirmative. Nicely talking about how everything is secure, and then Domino appears. So some explanations are in order.
darlings. How are you enjoying?
Alric, I thought you said this was secure.
Secure. Yes. This is a fair folk, though. There's only so much you can do to secure against them.
I acknowledge, Domino, but I will withhold my report now then.
Oh, darling, don't worry about me. I'm quite enjoying your little, runarounds. Besides, you still have my former knight here, and we did not part on bad terms. I'm more than eager to see what stories you are going to weave here.
Well, I mean, aside from this place being a blight upon the world, I don't see any reason for us to really stick around.
A blight, darling. That is a little rude, wouldn't you say?
But is it
I'd say polite is a little bit polite.
I would say I would agree.
I'm just gonna go.
I feel like a more accurate way to refer to it would be a cannibalistic meat grinder.
Delightful, isn't it, darling?
Every day I discover more horrifying things about you, Domino.
Darling, think about it. Look at it. Darling, this is a place where they don't allow petty morals or such silly things as right or wrong to get in the way of what they desire. The stories they tell, darling, are delightful.
Domino, when I looked at it, it almost blinded me. When I thought about it, it tried to invade my mind.
And I'm failing to see where there's a problem here, darling.
I'm just confused what the difference is between the stories that are acted out here versus those written elsewhere.
Oh, well, darling, it's more of a flavor sort of thing.
Ah, yes, right. I imagine you all are greatly enjoying the amalgamate of emotions and feelings here. Am I off?
Oh, well, sometimes you get the mood for something, and, well, this place has everything.
If you say so. Impatient, isn't he?
No,
I'm sure
darling,
we would have
stop.
gotten there soon enough.
Gotten where, darling?
Oh, to mimicking the city. After all, we changed realities. I thought it would just take more time, but this was a little bit of a kindling, no?
Oh, well... He kind of pauses and considers that.
The end of the Age of Fire was a kindling.
A
don't
magnanimous dispensation. Tochemay tipped $110. Razim contract.
So we now have a boss
Tochemay,
showing up.
Thank you so very much for that tip. Thank you.
I
for
mentioned the Age of
supporting
Fire,
channel.
and then we have boss music. No.
Many thanks for all the support.
I have my boss music playing now.
So many flavors of boss music. I wonder which one it is.
I'm just curious who the teacher was in the previous one. Also, I'm curious whether or not Greaves'
be
Warp
showing
Wonders, whether Greaves' Warp Wonders is still going to happen, or if that ended up being refunded.
If cards don't get used during
Happen
the
in the
session,
session, they get refunded.
yeah.
All right.
Now, darlings. You have a teacher here, I believe, who's going to be on his way to help you get the lay of the land, so to speak. Though I do warn you, darlings, you may wish to be careful.
I've already expressed to them the tendency of the individuals here. I believe that is part of why they've called it a blight.
But so, darlings, tell me. What would you like to do here? What sights would you like to see? What experiences would you like to have, darlings?
Oh, don't worry. I'm already taking it all in at this time.
I really do not know if I want to stay around with this filth. This is a place full of people that just go about killing each other. You may call it whatever you wish, but that is the essence of what they're doing.
I've had my feel of this city, but would mind visiting some of the other locations on this continent to get a feel for them. Problem being that I wouldn't want to go to those places if I wasn't invited first.
This place...
Oh,
I would rather
go
see
ahead,
it
Sinnoh.
wiped clean from the world.
It's a tumor, and it's only going to grow.
Yes.
darling, you speak such finality. And yet, there are still those who are fighting for this place.
Well, I suppose I'll just offer this then. Perhaps something to start with of a reason to not do what the party currently seems to be planning to do.
By the way, Portia definitely seems like she's contemplating what Domino just said there. That there are people fighting for the place.
You know, Worst Eye offers a very good point. Perhaps you could show us some of this supposed good here. Because so far we have seen nothing but a corruptive source of power that inevitably seems to make everyone go power hungry. Something that really is going to only spread and potentially affect the rest of our world.
People could say the same about our little place.
Yes, but the difference is that at least with the rest of the world, everyone is relatively, at least the big places are relatively equal in power. Whereas here, if they were to decide to go invade the rest of the world would crumble very, very quickly under them.
I feel like some of the how our players might be able to mount a decent defense for a while, but it's evident which way that tide would flow.
Honestly, I'm tempted to reach out to the technocrats on this. I feel like
Or
this place
Tekis.
I feel like this place is basically full of marauders.
There's an interesting thought that just occurred to me. Two interesting thoughts. Interesting thought number one is try to contact Tekis. If they're actually decent people, could try to form an alliance, and then if Lunaris does anything to agitate, then Tekis is able to break their treaty. Because they're defending an ally. It's not an ideal solution, but it is a sword of Damocles to keep him from causing problems on a global scale.
You know, that is actually a very good idea.
That is a possibility, darling. I do know from my own escapades here that Tekis and Lunaris do not get along very well. The one reason that Lunaris has not eaten everything is, well, Tekis wouldn't stand for it. They've already shown that they've been able to win once.
Well, there's also the fact that they need a steady supply. I'm definitely in the camp of making sure that, of separating all of the outlying towns from this place.
Yes, I will say, when it comes to Lunaris itself, Lunar City is mostly where the problems are going to lie. The outlying towns, villages, and the few cities, if you can call them that, they are far smaller than anything here, darling. They do not know of such things that go on here. It is very, very, very secret. This is not allowed to get out.
The surrounding towns don't know what goes on here, just like the cow doesn't know what goes on at the butcher's.
I do warn you, darlings, that due to everything, you are also under the geese. I warn you, don't speak of anything that goes on here in blatant terms to those outside of it.
Why?
It's a sleeper situation.
No, it will try to kill you and erase you from existence.
Others have tried already?
Yes, they got eaten.
No, I'm saying others have tried to erase me.
He pauses for a moment and looks at you, Portia, and Domino does something, Portia, that you have not seen. You see it very, very rarely. Domino actually looks serious as he's looking at you. You are powerful, Portia, but I give you this warning as a... What's the word you mortals use? Friend? Be very, very careful before you cross that line. It is going to be extremely dangerous, and it will not stop until it kills you. And everyone else that you have told.
Well, at the very least, we found the Hydra.
It's the defense mechanism the founder built into the city. A geese on all who come in. If you talk about what happens here, you will trigger it, and it will come for you, and anyone you told. They don't want the secret getting out. You can refer to it in hyperbolic ways. as long as you don't blatantly say the words. But you can't just out and out tell someone. You have to be like me, darling.
Going back to when we were talking to Denwall, did he ever explicitly state anything regarding that to us?
No.
No, he didn't.
Negative. In
So as
other
far
words,
as he knows,
if
we
were-
don't know.
Correct, darling.
Affirmative. And if you would
Sounds-
like, I am more than happy to contact someone at this time. Harm would come to me. I am prepared to make the sacrifice if needed.
Sun Tzu
The issue is...
comes to mind.
The issue is that apparently whoever you may tell will also be affected.
I acknowledge this. I have several individuals, and I'm easily able to pick out any one individual from across the world if need be.
He pauses and considers for a moment.
However, I prefer not doing that without knowing if Denwall is keeping this place pinned down, or how that would occur, after all.
It is a physical being. It can be interacted with. It can be hurt. But it is not a flesh and blood creature.
I wouldn't expect that, no.
Sounds like we're dealing with a bloodthirsty god.
Well, it's not necessarily doing this by choice, darling. More to the point of, it has to do it. It's under magic and contract as well, as I would say.
Okay, so
It was forced into an agreement.
So spreading news of this place is off the table. What about another great working? What about separating this place from reality?
Cut out the tumor.
Precisely.
An interesting concept, darling. You may be able to pull it off. However, I would recommend intensely that you may wish to wait for some time to do so. Your great working succeeded, darling. It succeeded beyond likely your wildest imagination. However, it left the walls of reality weak. It needs time to recover after it. You just did... Oh, what's the term I would use? You have just conducted intense surgery.
And this is a fucking infection that managed to slip in through the wound.
Or may have been part of that core that we implemented. Unsure about that.
Conducting another surgery, while yes, that is a good idea, and yes, you may be able to do it, I would recommend waiting because your patient may not survive the effort.
However, in general, when an infection gets into a surgical procedure, correct me if I'm wrong, Portia, but the ideal solution here is to deal with the infection before the wound is fully healed.
Don't want that shite to go septic. You'll never get it out.
Just make sure you're dealing with precision, not just golf club swinging it out into the ether.
Again, this is... A lot of things keep pointing towards Tekis.
Well, darlings, if you wish to go to Tekis, I could set up something for you.
I suppose there's nothing better to do, so let's go ahead.
You still have that
Wonderful.
meeting with Denwall in a little bit.
Before we do, I do have to check. Is there some means that we can at least apprise the other two, or the other member of our party that is remained within the manor? Or were within the manor at this time? That is one that we
Yeah,
did
that's
not
what I've been
know
going
of.
with, is that Callie stayed
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, I'm just realizing that as well, as just making sure. Either way, that is the individual that had remained at the manor. Is there some means of apprising them without tripping this? Or do we have to bring them here and expose them before we can read them in? In which case,
Hey.
I'm also contemplating the consideration of simply just quietly bringing in individuals and then just slipping them out.
Of course, there's always the question of whether if you do memory transfers, whether that would work. I mean, Nesil, you can... Oh. He's passed out again.
Don't worry, I'll keep care of him.
But, would a memory transfer trigger this entity?
Yes, it would. You would know beforehand, though, darling. It does give you a warning. But the way I would recommend, darlings, to let someone know is, say, for example, say, going to Luna City can give you a whole new lease on life. Or it can change your entire mindset.
I believe I speak for the entire party when I say that we would rather not be changed in any way by this place.
Domino is demonstrating how you can say something without saying it. Because those sentences, depending on which words you emphasize, can carry a lot of meaning.
Double speak.
Correct.
A whole
Correct.
new lease on life. If you say it like that, you get the message across.
Correct. That will not trigger any defense mechanism. So long as you do not blatantly tell someone, people here will try to kill you and eat your soul, you're okay. In this place, it is very... I highly recommend learning to listen to such things. Many of its citizens tend to use such terms.
Domino, every single thing that I learn about this city makes me hate it more and more. And that's just an extra log on the fire.
I could always run
Darling,
down the report at this point.
In the same way that our reality is antithetical to you and it burns at you when you're sitting in it, this place is burning at us right now.
Oh, I find it to be quite pleasant, honestly.
I can't say that it's burning, but fair enough.
Now, darlings, you have your little meeting. I'll see about that, working with your new teacher and setting up a meeting with Tekis for you. Is that acceptable, my former knight?
Yes.
You have to keep going in that.
He is my former knight, is he not?
He still holds that title.
Cody doesn't like it, but he just kind of accepts it.
Well, considering...
Wonderful, darling.
Oh?
What were you going to say, Wost?
I was just going to chime in that if this is the only place that can be shared... Everyone else, Are you all comfortable whether or not Domino hears this? For the report, at least as far as I've been able to discern so far.
He's gonna wind up hearing it whether we want him to or not, so might as well.
Fair enough.
The only way for him not to hear is if you make a contract with him.
I have no plans on making contracts with him at this time.
Well, okay, Domino, you could use your normal convoluted methods to figure out what it is we're saying, or we could just tell you directly, but that would be, us being gracious.
Domino will smile before he will vanish.
Well played.
And there you go, that's how
Portia.
you get rid of him.
Well played.
Well, with that said, I would advise maintaining watch, as already stated, of surroundings and each other, as, unfortunately, it is unknown if anyone will assume we can ensure the mutual destruction. They likely will, but it is unknown if they can tell. It is unknown how the process actually is, the best I can describe it is one being taken into another, assimilation-like. And the scale of power is not to be underestimated, as you all are very well aware. But I'm also not sure how specific it is. For all I know, it's as simple as stepping aside before smacking, if you will. Powerful in one specific angle and nothing else. That said, we will have to see how it goes, as far as I can tell, the Academy does appear to be a strong refinery of some variety. It's unknown whether or not the predation is forced to cheat the corruption, or if the amalgamate is just simply natural. If they're simply naturally strong, it is unknown if the location is simply recruiting from the harvest fields, or that is where it is harvested, if you will. And unknown if the location serves as conflict ground for higher competition or training. Additionally, as I will regard them as the host, in case their name carries any power, the host advised that they did not receive their power from the Academy. However, this does not exclude receiving their powers from others within the Academy. High caution is advised. They are currently my highest reading individual at this time. They are my standing benchmark.
He did explicitly state that they had a very high dropout rate.
Affirmative, which is where that is drawn from. Additionally, this continent exists upon a massive network, a magical node, vast. The Academy rests upon a particularly large one, likely how it draws in its prospects and harvest possibly. I don't have enough information on whether or not the harvest fields would be kept compliant and stable in the absence of the Lunar City. And, well, prior it was unknown if this was a secret operation, but, well, that little detail certainly adds on that there is some variety of enforcement by some being that is placed here. That said, I'm not sure if this land itself encourages a predation, so that will have to be something considered. The readings indicate possibility of it, but I'm not sure. That said, it will have to be seen what is occurring, and I am beginning naval operations as we speak, as they did mention a new naval presence, and I would like to ensure that they don't slip through that fashion as well, if possible. I've already been trying to maintain a net, but there's only so much even I can do.
Meanwhile, I'd like to take some of this shite back to the lab to study it. The quintessence here, there's something in it. It is contaminated.
Oh, I'm never quite so comfortable as when I'm at least 6 feet under.
Burrito Thenoodle Dragon has purchased 1 tabletop cards packs.
Thank you for that purchase, Burrito. You know, perhaps if we do study this, we might be able to purify it. Possibly even extend a... like, slip in some manner of vaccine to it to remove existing corruption as well. What do you think of that, Portia?
Sounds like a logical course of action. And since I've already been exposed to the shite, I might as well be the one to make the attempt.
I'm not certain if that would be the case.
Do ye truly want your last words to be so stupid?
Hey! Hey! I'm trying here!
After all, this city is a city of predation with the standing risk of corruption. Many of these individuals appear to be many within one, with the strongest presence enforcing its will. But that may also be possibly the reason for the corruption as well. As, for example, if I were to assimilate another AI, my modes of operation would likely begin to conflict and warp. My protocols are weaved for my priorities and decision-making. If I were to draw in others, it may skip important decision steps. I would weaken. I can coordinate with other AI, but I cannot assimilate while ensuring stability. Even if it would technically increase my overall throughput to do so, I favor efficiency and stability over raw power, that which these individuals seem to pursue. These people seem to have delved into that, in fact, and developed their unique attributes along the way as a result.
They're the kind of people that say, why optimize your code, just get a bigger graphics card?
Affirmative. Instead of properly learning the magics and the like, it's simply easier to gather more. Similar to how we have our group. Given enough time, we can do a lot, and we can do it in a way that we work with our world to do so. These individuals have simply clumped all of you together, and for all your disagreements and troubles and tribulations, we have a single individual making the decisions. Hence why I believe that...
sorry, while he's talking...
Go ahead.
While he's talking, Portia's pulling out a notepad, and she's sketching out a alchemy seal on it.
Either way, more information will be needed to verify. But until then, I just simply wish to impress upon you all the importance of maintaining extreme caution and wariness. I am uncertain whether these assimilations will set off your triggers around what happens if something occurs. I cannot guarantee, say, a temporal rewind. As such, that is why I maintain this net. A buffer must be maintained. The magical ecosystems are too varied. This is only an analysis. I may be mistaken. But I advise extreme caution on the interminglings at this time. We've seen ecosystems devastated by careless interaction. I would prefer to avoid that on this grand a scale if at all possible. And it would seem that they've answered my question for me. Previously, I was unsure whether or not these practices extended beyond the Lunar City, or Lunaris itself, but it seems that the worst of it appears to then be Lunar City and potentially Ranvik to the north. We'll be able to work it out from there. But the rest of the lands might be much more tolerable, possibly not. Time will tell, but at the moment we have our two primary foci. That said, I do also need to remind you that we do have to watch our time, as we do have the additional meeting after all of this. I believe we've scheduled plenty, but just as a reminder, so we don't get on any tangents.
That's why I'm trying to do this in an efficient and timely manner. And she's pulling 3 vials, the sample collection vials from her bag, placing those on the seal, and I'm going to attempt to distill some TAS.
Roll Arete.
She's distilling it in liquid form, and I'm burning 1 point of quintessence for automatic success because she's going to be using that as an insulator to try to keep this stuff from contacting her directly.
Mm-hmm.
The AI will also generate a little bit of gentle protections. Nothing extensive, just
Oof.
simply attempting contribution.
So that's so the difficulty is basically yes here, or sorry, no, I should say.
Basically. So, Portia, you're used to like having to fight tooth and nail to even just get like, how large are these little bottles that you have?
It's a standard vial, so actually I don't know what the standard size is for. Like if you're getting a blood draw done, it's that size.
Uh-huh. Okay, that gives me a frame of reference. So, in order to fill just like one of these normally, it would be extremely difficult. And it would basically push you to the limit to just gather enough energy to fill it. You have 3 of them, correct?
Yep.
In less than like 10 seconds, all 3 vials fill so much they actually explode and shatter.
Fucking Christ. And now it's all over me. Oh.
You feel fine though. It's okay. And it's rapidly dissolving away. So you're you're all
it's in the
right,
open air.
but it's like okay, I'm ready to try to pull. And then oh god, the floodgate suddenly just hits you and poof. 3 vials go poof.
Previously, Alexis had stated about just how much was here, and I had warned about how much was here. No, the pressure present. It's like trying to tap into a water main.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. Yes.
Okay, let's try this again. Going to get more vials. I don't know how many she actually has in the bag in total. I never thought that this would be an issue.
It's bigger on the inside. You can just, as Cody just starts copying one vial into multiple vials.
Making an attempt again,
mean
burning a
Sentinel?
point of quintessence again.
Sentinel, sorry.
You're burning a point of quintessence again. This time she's taking it much slower.
Okay. Alright, this time you're able to stabilize the flow so you aren't inundated and are able to start gathering it up.
It's like the difference between trying to use a condenser in the air versus sticking a pickaxe into a freaking water line. And I can physically feel this shite's different.
It looks like you're experiencing the restraint I have to practice when working with all of you.
Weird seeing it from the outside.
No, it is intriguing.
Considering that I just got splashed with it directly, again, keep an eye on me. See if I deviate from recorded behavior patterns.
Acknowledged. We'll advise you as it occurs.
Carrying on.
Alright. So,
Well-
was there anything you wanted to do with these?
I'm saving them for later. When she gets back to her lab, she's going to be doing full analysis and cross-referencing the energy signatures of that versus the quintessence that they're able to harvest from their own node.
Okay.
I would also like to take this moment as well to remind everyone that in addition to the 2 standing meetings, there was a 3rd contact as well during initial contact. Despite my standards for maintaining my distance and stealth, it was picked out all the same. So there is an additional presence, and I am unsure whether or not this might be the Tekis individuals they mentioned, who I could see very easily potentially pulling this off if they're described as accurately as they are, or if it is one of the other factions. Either way, it is just something I wish to note, and I can also attempt to recontact later if need be.
Yeah. Tekis and Idolia seem like the only two candidates for something that could do that.
That's what I was thinking. Either way, as I wish to finish off this little bit of report, with Alric's advisories, Tekis is likely to support containment, Idolia is likely to remain a closed border operation, Zuki is likely reliant upon the Divine with their unknown impacts, so they are best maintained quarantine for now. Giga Rodentia was stated as passive, previously stated as specializing in transport via size manipulation. I am keeping a high watch for smuggling operations at this time. Additionally, Makara is liable to extend business arrangements.
Take an
High
entire shipping
regulation
crate.
must be maintained.
Take an entire shipping crate, shrink it down to the size of a pill. You can swallow it, carry it past customs.
Any number of fashions, hence why there's being additional watches for such. I am putting all I can into observations for this. Almost all. There's still a little bit reserved for you all.
And then there's still Renvik.
Yep, I was getting to that one as well. That Ranvik might be engaged in slave practices, and as such, exercising extreme caution and observation for trafficking risks.
Yeah.
The Great
And
Desert
then
is no man's land of a theoretical extinction level threat to organic life, specialized in turning foes into new soldiers. As such, this one is to be untouched for the moment. That said, I will continue seeking information. There are still 2 lands that are unlisted as any of the prior presences, and after all, the new naval presence, so that also includes 3 unknown variables on top of all of this. I will also be working to try and understand. Warren was correct. They should have been able to handle this. Something feels off in why they were hit as hard as they were. I will be continuing analysis and attempting to discern what that is. Additionally, I would also like to add on one more detail. Considering the conflict potential in the history, I may or may not be the target of some hostility. Please do not engage needlessly if I'm the sole target. That is all at this time.
And the clock is ticking. We should probably get on with the meeting with the Denwall.
Understood. Ready to return.
It doesn't take too long for you guys to make it back to Denwall's Denwall's office. As you guys are going, you do notice that there are a lot of people who give you looks and such on the streets. Very intrigued looks, but no one tries to make a move at you.
I would like to remind that all drones are currently operating quiet, that all are masking signatures to look like ordinary automatons.
Okay. Could I have a perception awareness roll from each of you, please?
Acknowledged. Is this magical or non?
Non-magic.
I'm all 10s and 1s today.
Perception awareness.
I'm all 5s.
5.
What?
Standing by.
Let's see.
What the fuck?
And counting the acute senses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 2, 5.
Alright, so Sinnoh, Portia, and Wost all notice. Warren's currently going over all of this new information, considering, like, how does this work with how magic actually is supposed to work?
Trying to incorporate a new paradigm, it's a bit difficult.
The framework of
What you guys can see, though, is...
I think he was still talking there. He said the framework of, and then just
No,
cut off.
it's
Oh,
good.
sorry.
Oh, you're...
Just going over everything. Mumbling to myself.
Oh, okay. So I thought that like your microphone cut off or something there. I was just double checking.
What you guys can see is occasionally you notice people running, almost fleeing as fast as they can, and being pursued by others. It's not often that you see this, but on the way to Denwell's office, you see it a good half dozen times. And no one seems to bat an eye at this.
No one seems to bat an eye at what? Sorry, I was doing a thing.
Being hunted.
People being actually, like, hunted on the streets.
And no one is stepping in or even so much as flinching or reacting.
At least from what you can see, unless you did something.
I would like to buy away a point of pacifist at this time.
Sure.
I'm down to 1 point. I'm almost out of limit break. I'm going to have to hand you my sheet.
One of the AI gently bumps while en route. It is simply looking up with the acknowledging look.
Yeah, she is like becoming visibly agitated by this. It is pushing all of the wrong buttons.
Do any of you attempt to intervene at any point?
Can't.
I don't notice it, so I won't.
So I might have missed. Okay, brief recap. What's going on here?
So we are currently walking to Denwalls rather than being teleported or the like. And as a result, we are witnessing, while we walk along, that we are getting many looks, many strange looks and interest. But in addition to that, beyond those, we are occasionally seeing individuals who are very clearly fleeing, as if for their lives, and no one is batting an eye or adding anything to it. As though it is hunted in the streets, and there is no response.
Okay. Did Sinnoh see it?
And
Yes.
yes, Portia, the AI, and Sinnoh have seen it.
So
And the AI is on high alert, which can be noted as all of the AI are very clearly maintaining weapons ready.
So we have the protective sigil thing.
Yes.
The
You are
mark,
guests.
which means we're not allowed to take hostile action, correct?
You you are allowed to indulge in Denwall's hospitality. If that involved you guys wanting to hunt other people, that is your right as guests.
Oh. Oh no.
If you just so happen to stop predators and their victims just happen to escape you, well, that's just bad luck, you know? Sometimes hunts don't work out. You understand how it can be.
Great.
So that would not be the train of thought that Portia's on. However, if Sinel engages, she will assist. So, uh-oh.
The AI are standing by on protection duty. Following
Sinel's
you.
going to summon a box around the one that's doing the hunting.
Okay, it looks like he is a fox.
He is going
Fox in a
to
box.
summon a box,
Keeping you up all night.
and he is going to make the box smaller, and smaller, and smaller.
Oh no.
That piece.
As the
Until
box
there is
forms,
no space in there at all.
The fox begins to cry out and bang against the box.
Sinel, we don't know what'll happen if we violate the guest thing.
Well, we are aware of what you
Ye-
just told us, right, Kerr?
Yes, you are free to hunt if you wish.
Were we explicitly told this at any point in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are under all guest right, and Denwall made it clear if you want to indulge yourself, so long as you don't do
Oh,
it
well,
like
shit.
I
Yeah.
would not recommend
blatantly.
a small warning.
He's
will-
okay with it.
Okay,
A
so I
small
was not
warning.
aware that we were actually explicitly told that.
Oh yeah, if you guys
What's up,
want to,
Will?
sample the.
I was just going to simply throw in the small warning reminder to Sinel. Be careful about putting the threat of death. They are capable of self-destruct. An additional warning, just in
right.
case.
What did you do?
That is fair.
No, you didn't rape.
If you wish to speak with, that is something else. Do not put the threat of death on them.
Let me out of this thing. It's getting tighter. God damn it.
Sinel will stop the shrinking
Purposely attacked
before
my
it does
skull.
any
Set at him.
permanent
What
damage.
did I do wrong? Lyndon's quite
And he's
good,
going to walk
and I
over.
understand not winning, but he
I
had,
would
like, good friends
appreciate
who were
it
salty.
if you did not attempt such a thing again. Do I make myself clear?
Random luck.
Look, I didn't see a mark on him, okay? I didn't realize that you were going after him. I'm sorry. I don't deal with poaching. I just didn't even realize that someone else had their eye on him.
Am I to understand that
Oh.
that person is nothing more than livestock to you?
I mean, yeah, that's what they're here for. I wasn't gonna hurt them.
Sinel, please step back for a moment.
I don't care what you say.
Sinel will do so.
I'm just upset that the
Allow me to make something perfectly clear for any and all who might be observing. This is how we feel about people being treated like livestock. And she is going to be projecting a cone in front of herself that is
Okay.
stopping all cellular function, all metabolic function. I am dumping 5 points of quintessence into this for automatic successes.
Okay.
Ah, fuck. Good thing I dumped all that quintessence, huh?
You feel the magic.
Yeah, in this case, the reason you have the ones is you're not used to the magic just flooding you this easily. Like, it wants to respond to you instead of fighting, kicking, and screaming to resist you. Here it's like, yes, yes!
Yeah. It likes the thought that Portia's about to turn somebody into an inanimate object.
As you are about to do that, though, Portia, could all of you roll perception awareness, please?
Magical, non-magical.
Non-magical.
With pleasure. One, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Not this time.
6, 7, 8.
This is perception
9.
awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
AI of 9 on the alert.
She's distracted at the moment.
Alright, give me a second. I need to roll as well.
Siddle dubbed his perception awareness. He's got an AI to do that for him.
Seen a lot of big numbers in there.
Mm-hmm. He is going to be using... Actually, wait. Cancel this roll because I just realized something. I need someone to roll a d7 for me, please.
D8 re-rolling 8s.
Okay.
Why you gotta get the biggest number possible?
Okay, give me a moment. I need to check my notes here of who it's going to be.
Portia's participating in hunting. Congrats on getting your new soul.
Oh,
Well, there was the
My
warning of
baby!
deviations from normal behavior.
my baby, you get oh, you're going to like him. You're going to like him. I think
Are there
Sino will like
quotation-
this person a lot.
Are there quotation marks on that?
No, I don't think so.
You will see. And I will definitely see.
Okay, so that changes things real quick. So I have a different dice pool than what I thought I did. He has that, so...
Rerolled 9s.
Yup, he rerolls 9s.
Oh yay, we're meeting our teacher early. No.
Okay, so, what exactly are you trying to do, Portia?
So, within a cone in front of her, however far out it needs to go in order to hit the target,
Mm-hmm.
any and all organic matter is being rendered inorganic.
Okay, I need to double check something real quick. Alright, so let's see. Need to double check something real quick for my notes.
I will say, this is just like if some of our groups saw vampire feeding.
Mm-hmm.
And the AI is just sitting here. If I
This
lose
is
my
not
mate,
at
it's
that
here.
level. Okay, I just need to double check that. Okay, I just need to double check that.
And one final clarification. This objective is simply to kill, not to draw in.
Yeah, unless it's like forced to absorb the soul of the person, then yeah, she's just killing them.
Okay, Portia, as you begin to do that, as you are releasing the magic, how do you make it? How does it look?
Well, because she has the implanted stuff on her arm, it creates the alchemy seal in the air in front of her, Doctor Strange style.
Mm-hmm. Is it
And
light that comes out? Is it like mist? Like, how does it look though?
It'd be light appearing in the air in front of her hand.
Okay, that's why I was curious. Because it's the description here that matters. And as this light is starting to wash out over towards the fox, none of you notice. One moment the fox is there. The next, there is another figure out in front of him, and a swing of a sword, and Portia, your magic shatters like cheap glass. As you can see before you, it is a feline in his 30s or 40s, maybe.
Oh, hey, Kerr.
Beautiful. No, it's not Kerr. It is not Kerr.
I had to.
I know. He has beautiful golden fur with a very rich mane. He is dressed in actual, like, old school style armor almost. The armor is red and gold, and the trim of it is white. There is a large cloak going down his back, and he is wielding a sword. The sword, though, is not a straight blade. The blade itself is jagged, almost like a lightning bolt, is like what the shape is. And he is grinning as he looks at you, Portia, before he bows to you. My lady, a delight to see that you are taking worry for the innocent and the meek, but you should not dirty your hands with such filth.
And you are?
It is a delight to make your acquaintance, my lady. I am Soriel. May I have the honor of knowing your name, my lady?
Dr. Portia Wainwright.
You are a healer, then?
Most days?
He nods. I give you great respect, my lady healer.
One drone is very clearly standing, or both drones are very clearly standing, guns at the ready, and one of the two is standing by, not aiming, but instead preparing defenses in case it's needed.
Delightful devices I see here. Greetings, being of steel and metal. I mean no insult or harm to you.
Nor the rest of the party, I would assume.
But of course, I have seen the honorable ways you have attempted to protect the innocent.
I don't like this guy.
Message on the lens. Neither here.
If you agree that this is protecting the innocent, then why are you protecting the perpetrator?
To protect you is, of course, my lady. As well as to protect a further victim, as he waves a hand to the fox.
You let him go, he's just going to hunt somebody else tomorrow.
Ah, but did he choose to become this? or was this forced upon him, my lady?
The vampire paradox.
Well, out with it. Why were you hunting him?
Well, I had been more keeping an eye on all of you.
The fox.
And when I...
I wasn't talking to you.
What do you mean?
Why were you hunting them?
Because that's what you do here. I have a couple of job interviews coming up. I need that boost. Make sure I can get my job.
And you didn't think maybe you could just study, train, practice? Trying to take the easy way out?
I need it because, my family need this job, and I only have like 2 days before everything goes up. I can't just raise my magical energy that quickly. That's like, I just needed the boost. This is the only thing that can help here. And
what about their family?
Look, I'm sure they're probably a nice guy. I wasn't going to really hurt him. He'd be fine. And, well, if you don't do this, then you're obviously prey, which means people are going to go after you too. So it's like, I need something fresh to keep, my levels up, my aura going. Otherwise, people here, you know what they're going to think. They're going to think, oh, you're an easy mark.
You want to know how many people I've consumed? 0.
Don't go saying that around. You want everyone just to go after you?
They are welcome to try.
Oh, I think I like you. My lord, if I may know your name.
I am Sinel.
A delight to make your acquaintance, Lord Sinel.
Well then.
And Portia, if you were to kill the killer, would that mean that you've started on the hunt?
Warren, I don't need you lecturing me on morals right now.
Okay.
Look, come on.
But okay.
just let me go, okay? Please. I never did anything to you. Why do you care?
Oh, you see, I am a Marten, and there is no greater thrill than hunting a hunter.
Look, I just...
You... Hold on. You said that the reason you were hunting him was that you wanted to support your family.
Mm-hmm.
Sinel, could I request a small stipend to pay for a test subject?
Certainly.
I can see that your family is taken care of for the immediate future in exchange for you coming along with me for some various experiments, tests that will likely result in you getting a new outlook on life. Otherwise, I could just kill you right here.
Your oath?
On my oath, I will do everything that is in my ability to show you a better way to get that strength that you need, to get that power that you need. A way that doesn't involve slaughtering people.
He'll nod slowly and reach out his hand towards Portia if he's able to.
That box has not moved.
Yeah, I can't shake or anything to agree.
One moment. It's just a regular old box, and you were just slowly shrinking, right?
Oh no, it's a basically force field.
Yeah, it's like a force box.
There's always the ones. Every roll of mine has had at least one in it today. I was using Prime to attempt to breach through the barrier of the box.
Cody, would you allow her just to do it so she can shake his hand?
I mean, she could have just asked.
No.
I'm making a point. I'm making a point to him. Because she just used powerful life magic and then is immediately switching over to using powerful Prime magic. Because what Kerr had pointed out was that people here specialized into one thing. She's demonstrating she just flipped from one field to another flawlessly.
He's just going to kind of stare. And he'll slowly reach out and shake Portia's hand.
Sinnoh will dismiss the box.
Renard?
A fox named Renard. Your parents weren't too creative, were they?
Not really, no. Alright.
Come along.
Well, considering this city, I'm sure they didn't expect him to last long, so...
I will have you know, I used to be a teacher at the academy.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
A little more interesting then.
You just got a lot more interesting.
Well, we'll be happy to talk with you at some point later then.
Unfortunately, we are now officially late for our meeting with Denwall. Suppose that means you're coming along then, doesn't it?
He gulps. It kind of filters down.
Sinnoh is creating a collar and leash and putting the collar around him, like summoning it around his neck and putting the leash in Portia's hand.
Sinnoh, I'm not going to argue with it.
Since you're
Let's
giving
go.
him a new leash on life...
Oh.
A message pops up while they're rambling as well. While you're in the mood for making things, do you mind a couple lenses for everyone else?
So
I'd like
should
to
I add a
keep
point of
everyone
paradox
apprised
to my
of what
sheet from
everyone's
that?
doing.
Kurt, should I add a point of paradox to my sheet from that pun?
You're good.
I think I could share some information with everyone if you don't mind creating a lens for everyone real quick.
But I like my cool lens. Sinnoh will make some new lenses for the others.
Just some temporary specs. Congratulations, you've been granted augmented vision for the time being.
And adding a item to her to-do list is to make an eye implant for herself, so she doesn't have to have the big gaudy lens.
All for later time. But congratulations, you can now see all individuals around you marked for with scale.
This guy, he's 90 Radits. This guy's 150 Radits. What Denwall? It's over 9,000.
And here's Warren with one.
One Radit.
Yeah, but then you look at
contemplating
Warren. Then you look at Warren's staff, and it's over 90,000.
Staff of Infinite Bunk.
To be fair, I was contemplating whether or not I declared it a sliding scale up to 1,000 with Denwall as the current designated factor. With the capability of reading above, mind you. Don't assume that I cannot read above 10,000. Denwall is just set as 10,000.
I would like to think that Portia's current behavior has definitely set off alarms for most time, though.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a reason why they bumped them already earlier. Just this small acknowledgement of, hey, I feel that too. Rather, I feel your response.
And she's straight up just fucking, oh fuck, what? I want to say, no, it's not blackmail. What's the term? Whatever. Threaten the guy with death if he didn't come along.
Ah, yes. Coerced.
Coercion, yeah.
Voluntold.
Yeah, you've been voluntold.
All the same. Congratulations, Renaud, on being brought along. Onward and wayward.
I guess we're going to Denwall, and we've picked up a pet along the way. I feel like Denwall would just interpret that as me having takeout. Saving it for later.
Basically, yes.
And don't forget about the lion in Timber's armor.
Yeah, about that. He's still there.
Oh yeah, he's watching you guys. He hasn't tried to go through the portal, though.
Are we good to proceed?
Oh, if you just go around stopping people from hunting, or what are you doing?
He smiles. Oh, well, me and a few others were asked to see what's going on. Considering, well, we have guests who aren't from here.
Asked on whose behalf?
Well, my boss, you could say.
Aye, and that would be?
Someone who protects this place. Not just this city, but this entire area.
Slow squint.
The AI waves one of its rocket pods friendly. It's... friendly wave.
I do not know if you are necessarily complete allies yet. You have shown yourselves to be honorable, and I wish to extend the hand of friendship. But I cannot just reveal all of our secrets.
Understandable.
We'll watch your career with great interest.
But I would be happy to discuss things with you if you would like.
Put a pin in it for later.
We're quite
busy. If you're able to jump in like that, you shouldn't have any issue finding us later.
Oh, no problem.
All right, then onward and wayward. Hopefully we don't.
Good luck with your meeting.
I make me own luck.
Affirmative. I rely on the artificial stuff. Most call it skill.
Ironically, entropy is one of only 2 spheres she doesn't have, so she does not, in fact, make her own luck.
And the AI simply does not count on it. The AI counts against it. Anywho,
and as you step through, you guys would arrive at Denwall's office, as Denwall is currently working on the most fiendish of all things, paperwork.
Fiendish my metal foot.
Sinel, on the way, is going to lean into the fox and just whisper a bit to him. I would definitely recommend that you cooperate with everything that she says. Because if you don't, I will be very happy to make sure that you comply in other ways.
That's fair.
He'll nod his head.
A synchronized drumming of mechanisms will answer to that as well. From all the drones.
Just all of them reloading.
Yeah, you just hear the sound of cycling. All the barrels are clearly away from Denwall, so no threat there. But everything is just cycling and in tune with that little reminder. Not a threat, just a reminder.
Things are okay for right now.
Yeah, let's go.
The fox may be thinking, oh no, these guys are working for Ranvek.
As Denwall is going to look up. Hello, everyone. Delightful to see you all again.
Hello.
So, how have you enjoyed my wonderful city so far?
It has been a very unique experience.
That's what I'd like to hear.
There is so much to see. It has been very nice. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Or,
Come. Take a seat as he waves a hand and chairs appear for everyone.
You'll have to forgive that Alexis isn't here at the moment. He tends to wander off into the future sometimes. He'll be back soon.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's quite all right. I understand how things can be.
I guess that means you can have his seat then. Looking over at the fox. We still don't know the name of, or did he say his name and I just... Oh, it's Renard. That's right. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say you.
My short-term memory has lag.
Renard's just gonna be very, very quiet, trying to act like he's not there. So, was your meeting with Alric beneficial?
Oh, it is very enlightening.
Wonderful,
Affirmative.
wonderful. I am extremely glad to hear that. So, now that you have seen my city, would you be open to perhaps some negotiations?
Of what nature?
I'm assuming that the little eye visor things they have eye tracking UI, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so she's just going to quickly send a text to the group, Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu's Art of War. Never interrupt the enemy while they're making a mistake. And when you're weak, appear strong. When you're strong, appear weak.
Well, it's nothing much, but, perhaps a trade of ideas. Opening of borders. We would love to see more of your world, after all.
Probably not yet there just yet. We will have to give it more time and information.
There's
I
definitely a lot
understand.
to see, but as Wostai has pointed out, we need to disseminate relevant information amongst the various world leaders so that we can begin moving forward with any further interaction, any commerce that could occur, any immigration, emigration, that sort of thing.
He nods slightly.
We'd also like to make sure that it is in fact actually safe as well. After all, we had the pressure when we arrived. We would rather not have. We would rather not impose the opposite of that. At least not without checking.
The energy here isn't so bad once you get used to it, but I can see how some people would be very overwhelmed upon arrival. Oh, such as
He
Warren,
nods.
for example.
Understandable. Understandable. Our land is quite unique, if you don't mind me saying.
That it certainly is. That said, are there any things that we should be aware of?
In what manner?
Well, especially anything that you would like us to say to the other world leaders, and making sure that they are aware of the situation of this city and such. After all, we do need to prepare a proper report. So is there anything we should be aware of, or that you would like us to include with the report and such that we send on? It would be a very thorough report, after all.
Well, I trust that you'd be able to deal with your leaders better than I would. Whatever you think is best, I would say go for that.
Sinnoh's sending a message, and he chose not to reveal the gears.
Acknowledged. I will begin preparing that report.
Okay, I can't find anything for this. How many werewolf bloodlines are there in World of Darkness?
There are multiple tribes. Technically, the tribes aren't bloodlines, they're more of a group that you would join.
Okay, then how many tribes are there?
Give me 1 second to double check. For werewolves specifically, I think it's 10. But I'm double checking. Let me check the Guru tribes.
And it depends if you want the Get a Fenris and all those other ones.
Portia would be like
16 counting the Black Spiral Dancers, who are fall under the worm. So 15 if you want to not count the ones who are batshit fucking crazy evil and the ones that are extinct.
I just looked up the vampire houses, and there are 16. 15 if you don't want to include Simisi.
Ah, yes, the one that would probably love this place.
Yeah. So, we've got a lot of different people that we will be needing to contact. So you're doing the math. 15 is 30, plus the 9, 39. And there's the world leaders, the beast. Roughly 50 different phone calls we need to make.
Well, that's quite a lot.
It's a very broad world out there. A lot of different groups in it.
You're nod. Is there any other questions I could answer for your reports? I'm willing to give whatever help I can.
Not quite so directly pertaining to that. I do have a question. Do you mind if I take something home with me?
But of course, you're our guest. What guest would I be if I don't offer whatever you would like?
Well, looks like we're taking Denwall with us. Uh-huh.
No, it's just that Renard here, I didn't know whether or not you'd be okay with me taking him.
You caught him. Go ahead. You can do whatever you wish with him.
Acknowledged.
Denwall just, or not Denwall, sorry. Renard just ducking his head down, just trying not to draw any attention.
Well,
One of the AI drones in response just makes it a very clear point of turning to observe.
I think that's the essentials dealt with. Got a lot of paperwork to deal with. I see you've got paperwork of your own right now.
You know, it's
You know how to contact us, and we can always just have Alexis spy on you again if we need to contact you.
he will nod his head. I will be happy to get a hold of you if you wish.
Additionally, one question. These marks and such, will they degrade over time, or how do they work? Just for reference.
Oh, they'll remain until I remove them.
All right. Thank
Well,
you.
If we're on our way out to the door, then I suppose now would be a good time for that.
He'll nod and snap his fingers. Done.
Thank you for the introductions.
Oh, but of course.
And with that, the AI are prepared to start following out back to, I imagine, the manor.
So are we taking the Sinal Express or Timothy Airways?
I figured Sinal Express. As he's just going to open a portal right there in the office.
All right, then you may open a portal.
And heading back to the manor.
And back to the manor you would go.
A sharp observation is kept on Renard. Anything notable with them stepping out as the portal closes and all ties are severed, so to say?
No, he seems perfectly fine.
Okay, good.
The moment that the portal is closed... Ah, fucking Christ.
Give me 1 second, I need to make a roll.
The AI are all standing by, all guns trained.
Could everyone give me a perception awareness roll, please?
Stop that!
Every single roll I have made today has had a 1 in it.
Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 again. The AI is on alert.
Okay.
Look at this
You
portal
guys
technology.
can continue. You guys can continue. I just need to check.
The AI is also making a sweep for any indication of our previous guest, the bodyguard, and anyone else.
Just going to take a look over at the collar. Is it like something that can be easily removed? What is it made of?
It is a solid, more akin to a shackle.
Just a solid metal band.
Yes. But the leash can be detached.
Sentinel, the collar is no longer necessary.
Very well. He will he will adjust it to have a actual latch on it, and of course a hinge.
We're going to have to talk about your fetishes at some point in time. She's just going to take the collar off of Renard.
Oh, trust me. You don't want to get into that with someone that is a furry. I realize we're all furries now, but, you know, I was before as well.
Sentinel. I happen to be an anthropomorphic species. That does not make me a furry. Furry is your own thing from a previous reality. Oh, by the way, Renard, just gotta rip that band-aid off. We're reality jumpers.
I wouldn't exactly call us reality jumpers, considering we made the reality.
Didn't want to overwhelm him. He's baby.
As of right now, he is a wild animal as far as I am concerned, with no decency or concern for anyone but himself.
Just because he's contaminated with the hunger does not mean he's not a sentient person.
Well then, perhaps you can fix this hunger.
Speaking of, Renard, precious metals, those are worth money in Arcata, right?
He nods.
As we don't have any means of currency exchange, then sending some gold bricks would be sufficient for helping your family get by.
He nods again.
Well, you're all welcome to do whatever. I have to introduce a fox to a raccoon and give him a crash course on how things work out and about in, well, I hesitate to say normal places.
Have fun introducing your pets to each other. I hope they don't fight.
Why do you have to... Sentinel, why do you have to say it like that?
Meanwhile, just as a point of, just making a point, what if the larger walker mechs happens to just pass by the window outside? Just a point of making it clear that these are not the biggest of these AI.
Renard, do you have any questions on our area?
I just don't want you to kill me.
Oh, don't worry, we aren't going to do that. You see, unlike in Lunaris, over here, Lunaro, whatever. Unlike over there, we don't kill people just for sport or just to make ourselves a little bit stronger. Over here, in fact, killing people is illegal. Highly illegal. And so unless it's self-defense, or if you're an agent of the law who's carrying out a punishment, or stopping a crime in progress, that sort of thing, no, killing is generally frowned upon.
Similarly so for kidnapping and otherwise taking other individuals against their will and the like, or for coercion under certain circumstances.
Which is why you need not consider yourself to be a slave while you're here. You are here because you are going to be my test, see if it's possible to cure people of the hunger.
He'll nod slowly.
So what's your specialty?
Oh, I usually dealt with animals.
Could you expand upon that?
Oh, it's just
Well,
a harmless little bunny, isn't it?
Well, when I was a teacher, I handled some of the more exotic classes, such as, horseback riding, sports that involved animals. We had a whole menagerie of different animals.
Sounds more like a talent rather than a magical skill.
Oh, well, you see, my magic was very good at working with animals.
What were you planning to do to those people that you were chasing?
That was only one person. Unless I...
Well, you see, I'd gotten someone asking for a racehorse, and, well, he looked fast enough for it, and he seemed perfect for the role.
Oh. There it is. You transform people, don't you?
Sinel's just kind of doing a dramatic, there it is kind of wave, like, I told you so kind of wave, you know?
So when you say you work with animals, you mean you work with turning people into animals?
Well, both.
One begets the other. Okay.
I took very good care of my beast, thank you very much.
I have no doubt that you did.
And you
You'll
say
find that
I
I take
can't...
good care of mine.
And you say that I can't treat him as one?
Nope, collar goes back on.
Excellent.
Yeah. Your karma's clean in this case.
And the big question about why you left the school.
Well, I was fired.
What for?
Well, apparently the new deans did not approve of my teaching method. And when I refused to change and went after them, they got angry and, well, fired me.
I will never stop changing people, and I refuse to change.
Sinel is summoning the collar back onto him, removing the latch, and this time adding in a shock factor to it.
I'm assuming that that's bound to the perimeter of the estate.
Oh, your eyepiece there will be able to activate the shock collar at any time. And of course, if he tries to leave the estate, he will be paralyzed for the... well, I mean, it should wear off, but... it's always finicky with anatomy.
Well, I am oathbound to help you become a better person. So, first things first, we need to do a full medical workup. Then I'm going to need to check the resonance patterns within the quintessence in your body, compare that with a few other samples that I've taken, some samples from here. It's a whole lot of boring medical stuff. It's going to be a busy day.
He just kind of stares at you.
Suffice to say, your moral compass is right fucked. But it's okay. I'm going to try to fix it. And along the way, I will be teaching you how to enhance yourself without the need to brutalize others for it. And, you know, there's always the possibility that I could teach you how to breed animals rather than turning people into them.
On a side note, is this individual scale rating higher or lower than the party in terms of raw power?
Lower.
Fair. And the AI is maintaining sharp watch.
Oh, and as I said, I am oathbound to help you improve to be a better person. Allow me to make one thing perfectly fucking clear. 1, better is a relative term. 2, we have within our purview a means to make you a very, very much better person. Such a nice person that you wouldn't hurt a fly. And you'd live a very long and very happy life. You just wouldn't remember anything before it. Keep that in mind.
Whatever you say.
Okay, this way to the lab.
Can I have another perception awareness roll from everybody, please?
Yeet.
Hey, slightly better roll. Nope, still came out to 4.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7.
Okay.
Reminding as well that the AI is on high alert, sweeping the manor, the mansion, and keeping a sharp eye on Renard.
Okay.
And yeah, Portia, when she gets to her lab, she's going to be doing full spectrographic analysis on the quintessence that she harvested, as well as a comparison sample that she's collected locally from our tree.
Hey, Portia.
What?
There's someone in your office.
Oh boy.
In your lab.
Wait, is
No, it's not,
paint?
It's not the ghost of paint.
Okay.
Wait, why would it be his ghost?
I was making a joke because they kept saying that Paint was going to die.
Nope, not dead yet. He's right here.
Portia, you
Just
must
wagging.
avenge me.
Wagging away, happy to see his friend again.
Wait, is that actually who's in the office?
Nope.
Okay.
There is another fox. And he's currently looking through some of your books that you might have in the lab. So real quick, he is wearing... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to chime in that they better have just barely blinked in as we approached, because the AI is on full alert still.
Just for sake of reference, her lab is prime anchored.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
AI, you never saw him or sensed him at all.
That will flash up on Portia's lens that this was undetected.
He's wearing a very loose blue shirt and matching pants. And you can see he has 9 tails, each of which is fitted with what looks to be like an actual blade on the end of each tail, shaped like a scythe, and wrapped around his right arm is a chain, and it basically goes from like his shoulder all the way down his arm to his wrist. And it's just a very long silver chain wrapped around it. And it looks like it's hooked to a scythe. The scythe, the actual hilt itself, looks to be made out of some sort of black metal that you don't recognize. And the blade, it is a long blue blade. Like, it's made out of, like, sapphire. Like, it looks like it's made out of solid sapphire, not metal. And it's literally, like, chained to his body.
I don't believe those are your books.
He glances up from the book and looks at you and smiles. Oh, apologies. I just wanted to get a sense of who you were.
Wouldn't happen to be affiliated with the man that I met earlier.
He smiles. You met Soriel?
He made a very interesting impression.
He does that. He's a bit of a showman.
Now, you care to explain why it is that you couldn't use the front door?
I did.
Did you not?
No one was here.
Would you...
Bullshit, the butler never leaves.
Not to mention all of the guards.
And the 2 drones in every room following Denwall's arrival, since they have remained stationed in every room at this time.
No one has seen him or detected him.
Because Kitsune, master of stealth.
Not Kitsune. There are other reasons. He has skills and abilities. It makes it very difficult for him to be seen if he does not wish to be seen.
He has a particular set of skills.
Just because they didn't see you doesn't mean that you could just ignore that they're there.
Oh, I didn't. I just didn't want to bother them. I was just getting sightseeing, you could say.
Yeah, so most of the time when people trespass into this place, it's because they're trying to kill us.
Do you want me to try to kill you?
No, I'm
Is
just
that
saying
what-
that you're raising a lot of alarm bells by sneaking in.
Oh, well, I thought mortals snuck quite a bit, so I figured I would try it.
So why are you here?
Well, I was curious about you guys.
Well, if you have any questions, you're gonna have to ask him while I'm working, because time is of the essence with this.
Oh, what's wrong?
Well, other than the festering tumor that is Arcata, and the fact that Lunaris could pop and spread its pus to the entire planet at any point in time.
Arcata's not that bad.
It's a matter of perspective.
Look, it isn't. And some of the people are very good and kind.
That's the part that makes it worse. If we were just a basket of deplorables, then I'd be able to say, yep, that's a bunch of evil people over there. It's the fact that you got a bunch of innocents mixed in with them that makes it bad.
I've only just started kind of seeing Lunaris. I'm usually from Zuki myself.
Oh,
And
right.
that
Very
explains
important
why you
question.
said mortal.
You know, it's
Very important question. Have you been within Lunar City?
oh yeah.
And you're aware?
Yes, I've been keeping track of things.
All
Yeah,
right.
she's She's, by the way, already gone over to her lab equipment and has started the analysis on the samples.
Just making sure.
He walks over and just kind of sits down on a stool watching Portia. Yeah, I used to be mortal like you guys a long while ago.
Must have been quite some time ago, given, certain customs that you've forgotten.
Well, I mean, our time period was a lot more wild and such, dragons trying to burn down little towns, griffins enslaving everyone to serve them. It was not that great of a time, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't met any griffins yet, and the only dragons I've met, one of them is obsessed with its appearance, and the other one just kind of stands around watching people.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I helped out back then, keeping towns safe, protecting people, doing what I could, and eventually I got rewarded and I got made into a god. Kinda sucks, but I do my best. I do my best.
Just like that? Someone snapped their fingers and did it?
Well, I might have saved their life a couple of times.
Must be fucking nice.
They don't like owing people.
Must be feckin' nice. You're not having to do it the hard way.
Oh,
or specifically being pushed into it the hard way.
50-50. I think even though, made me a god and everything, I think he still wasn't happy that Immortal was, shooting for that far and gave me a really terrible job.
So what are you a god of?
Let's see.
Is Warren there?
slow head turn. Did you realize that you followed me? I did send an alert, so...
I was going to say, if I apologize, I tried to get the word in edgewise before just starting throwing it into the Fantasy Ground chat. Of the messages, we have an uninvited guest, Portia's lab, sent to all eyepieces. Undetected, unknown how long they've been here, armed, caution advised. The individual has been to Lunar City. They profess to be aware, not certain of extent or truthfulness.
Okay, in that case, Sinel is probably showing up with, yeah, he's probably showing up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if everybody saw Fantasy Grounds chat, so...
I'm sorry, I'm just mentally just to throw this in, I'm just mentally imagining that Sinel's over there trying to process everything they've just been exposed to, and there's the little warning from, WoD that's just blinking, growing bigger and bigger until it's noticed.
Oh, Sinel was heading off to the library to do some work with Bob.
Yep, fair.
I forgot that I had coffee ready, and now it's cold.
The AI
It lost its quintessence.
The AI keeps it warm, pat. It might be slightly radioactive. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, yeah, if the coffee from the coffee maker goes cold, it becomes radioactive. It just becomes toxic waste. Let's not give Kerr ideas. Anyways, carry on.
No, the AI is well aware of this. They won't let it go cold. Anyways.
But yeah, when she notices that Warren and Sinel have showed up, she doesn't even actually really look up from her terminal. Just, be advised, he's a god.
Yes, and that is what Arthur claimed as well, before I fed him to Grandma.
I am actually, divinity. I actually have, a divine, thing. Complicated.
You mentioned that you were given a shit job.
Yeah. Really, really shit. I'm not super happy with it, but I do what I can.
And that job would be? Are you not allowed to discuss what the job is?
No, I just don't like to. I don't care for my job. Technically, I am the god of sadness, despair, and suicide.
Oh, I'm very familiar with your domain.
Yeah, I think you have a loyalist already.
See, so what my job in Zuki would be to do normally is he holds up the scythe that he has. See, this isn't like a normal weapon or anything. So what I would do is I would use this to cut away the pain, regrets, and sorrow in someone. And so when they died, their soul would not turn into an abomination, into a ghost that would basically strive to kill other people or just be trapped in the place. They could reincarnate then into another life and hopefully be better off. I would try to make sure that they could have a happier life, but there's only so much that I'm able to do, you know.
Okay, so
I
where
feel
the
like you
hell
and my
were
boss-
you when I was attempting to take care of that and Domino was stopping me and such?
Oh yeah, that was
Again,
after the planes merged.
Again, I work in Zuki. Zuki is my territory. That's my land. That's the place where I have the most power and such.
Yeah, unlike Santa Claus, he can't be in 50 places at once. Or can you?
I'm
Puny god.
I'm more a god. I am not the god. I'm just like, you know, this is my job.
Except
like that,
acknowledged.
Like that one Marten that Adamant told me about once that was trying to claim. Look, why did I just blank on his name? Holy shit.
Nevis?
Nevis, thank you. Why did I blank on that? That one Marten that was trying to claim Nevis's title, Adamant told me all about it. Oh, he was in way over his head. Good thing that Nevis is a nice person, otherwise, you know, he would have been made into some piece of clothing.
I don't enjoy doing my job, but I do try to do my best, and technically I think I can do a pretty decent job with helping people who can be helped and then helping those who can't really be helped.
I feel like you and my boss would get along great.
I don't like people dying. I really don't. But in this case, like, if they're going to die and such, then I can at least ensure that they aren't going to stick around and be trapped and such, and they can actually, you know, reincarnate and have another go around at life.
Okay, so...
I would much rather that than them becoming an enslaved evil spirit who wants nothing more than to cause pain, suffering, misery, and death to everything and everyone.
Okay, so your job aside, what are you doing here?
Oh, well, see, technically I'm still in Zuki. This is more me when I was mortal. Back when I was,
so you are
know,
more than one place at a time. That answers that question.
Well, I was
still
summoned
does...
as... Oh, I'm getting to it, I was summoned this way, and I was asked to keep an eye on you guys. Considering, you know, threats of possible you guys trying to wipe out the entirety of Arcata.
Just you want to
Oh, no.
stop at that?
Just Lunar City.
I mean, you're still... ramifications.
So you're here to stop us.
No, I am here to ensure the safety and life of Arcata and the people on it. That's my job. If you've
been around so long, and you are what you are, then you know of the thing that I can't name. And you understand why it is that we cannot abide a tumor like that on our world.
See, that's the thing here. And again, I don't have a problem with you people. You seem like pretty decent people, and Soriel spoke very highly of you. But we have a job I was called to do this, and I don't have a lot of leeway when it comes to if I'm given a direct order. I have to follow what I was told and such. But right now, we're just, testing the waters, checking things out.
Actually, she's actually going to lean away from the terminal when he says that. So you entered into godhood, and you're completely subservient to another entity?
No, it's not like that. So, what you're looking at, this is me when I was mortal. This is me when I was alive. Before I attained godhood.
I understand that. I'm just... call it a personal question, but, if you have certain obligations placed upon you, say at the soul level, and then you enter into Ascension, those obligations come with you.
No, this is something different. I'm more like a... Do you know what a familiar is?
Oh, boy.
Sinel reaches up to pet Marticus on his shoulder.
I'm a super, super, super familiar. The person who summoned me is the one who's basically in charge of safeguarding Arcata. I know. You know the desert? That great desert?
One that got blasted into oblivion and now everyone's afraid of it?
Hi, me and my friends are the ones who did that when we were trying to make sure that the world didn't end.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one that can reduce the Earth to a desert. Yay!
We weren't trying to, it was an actual end of the world scenario though.
So, you see those pillars of reality? How some of them are duct taped together and a couple are missing? That was us when we were trying to stop the world from ending.
So, yeah, you get it then. Like, our job is to make sure Arcata stays safe and to ensure the survival of the mortals there and to ensure the land itself survives. That is our duty. That is what we were summoned for. And right now, you guys were a possible threat, so we were keeping an eye on you just to make sure that you weren't planning, as he looks over at Wost, nuking our home and having to make us do something about it.
Oh, don't
Been
worry.
launched in self-defense.
Just as they all have their capability of self-destruction, I simply project that in my own fashion. The good news is, they did not force it, so all is well.
You know what, I'll
As
just fucking
of
say it.
right-
Oh, go on.
As of right now, our plan is to attempt to cure the tumor before we go the scalpel route, I'll say.
They've expressed...
Fuels.
No, go ahead.
Oh.
If it's at all possible to decouple Arcata from the rest of our world, that would be a preferable outcome. But judging by what I'm seeing, they're kind of fused too deep at this point.
He kind of nods. It's kind of the nature of the world. They can't really help it.
Oh, it is compulsory then.
It not compulsory. More, he kind of pauses. He seems to be like thinking about it for a moment.
And Portia's going back to her work at the terminal.
More like they were forced into it, and they didn't really have a chance to choose anything else.
Yeah, can I make a roll for how she's coming along on sequencing the energy spectra for the different
Sure.
types of quintessence?
Go ahead.
Would that be intelligence plus science?
Yes.
Or oh, come on. I'm not going to burn a willpower. I am not going to burn a willpower.
Sentinel's going to open a portal as she's working and just plop the skull onto the counter next to her. You know, Bob here could be of a massive assistance to you, you know?
Fair point. She's just going to pick him up and put him down on top of the mouse. Enjoy. The computer mouse, not a lab mouse.
I don't think that will be exactly of assistance. Come on, Bob, wake up. There's work to be done.
What do you want, boss?
We are looking into curing a tumor on the world.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
We're trying to cure Mage's hunger.
The AI is going to point out the samples that are set out, point to the individual that is interloped, and point to between Portia and the rest of the party. There are a lot of variables here at this time, and we'd just like to check some things.
By the way, I deliberately phrased that for shock value. I hope you can appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, you're unaware of the new land. You're not unaware, are
what?
you?
Oh boy, how long were you asleep?
Well, I mean, I may have had a chance to go see a club. It was kind of nice.
Oh. You passed out after getting back from the Sixth Circle, didn't you?
I mean, there was a strip club event going on, and I couldn't resist.
Okay, so you know the Grand Working, it got tampered with. Shit's gone sideways.
Bob,
Oh, that's not good.
You may leave your skull in order to scout. Be careful, there is a very powerful new player on the field, a new continent. Go recon and gather information from WoD. Though I believe that you'll need to go visit this new lunar city first before you can get the information from WoD.
As Bob is about to come out of the skull, you see the skull look at the fox, and he suddenly goes, "What the fuck is that?"
I was about to tell you, by the way, there's a god here.
That's not a god.
Are
Yeah,
you
close enough.
just for clarification, real quick? Are they looking at Renard, or are they looking at the
They're
lesser
looking at the
god?
other fox.
Okay, the lesser one. Got it.
The god.
God is a
Yes.
relative term. Tell me what he is. Words.
Boss, are you planning like any world destruction hijinks or anything like that?
Oh my
That
god,
is Plan
Bob.
C.
So help me, I will fucking dip you in lie if you don't use words.
All right. I'll tell you what I know. End of session. With the cliffhanger.
You know it's the end of the session. Wow, he's omnipotent.
By the way, I would also just like to clarify very clearly here that, for one, Nesil is considered part of things, so they will be read into it, and the Cassie will be kept well out of earshot this entire time, just to be extra clear. I just wanted to specify that, and also probably a small note to the 3Vs, say. A little bit of a heads up on broadcast. And a little bit of warning of such. We'll be working on that just to make sure it's very clearly not overstepping. The AI will be mindful of that, but, just want to begin preparing the reports.
Oh yeah, you get to see the new screen now, Tanya. The other one. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us today for Horizon Lost World of Darkness Mage. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They're on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by simply sharing the stream around, as well as grabbing some packs of cards or stream loots, coming by and hanging out, and of course, bring your friends in. We are trying to get to partner this year, but we cannot do it without all of you coming by and hanging out. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye.
Bye!